Welcome everyone. Back today with more of the Stanley parable. Now, if you watched the previous stream, God, we had some right laughs for that one. Hopefully this will carry on back to where we left off. I'm hoping, yeah. So, who knows what's happening next? Who knows?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley
worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him.
Again, if you don't know about the things that's happening in this video, go back and check the other video. I'll explain this.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-wrenching, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order
so
had arrived
far,
on the monitor.
It's going through
him
the
to follow.
same flow, but
No
got
one
the
had showed
balloons.
up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
It should be
Never in
interesting
all
to see what they
his
do
years at
next.
the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Now, he's in the previous video, he's classing this as number 2, even though so far it's got the same setup as number 1, but with the added balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
With those dodgy ass balloons that say, "Happy 12th birthday, stepniece." Complete random. Complete random. But let's see what's different. So far, just the balloons. Oh, the bucket. Again, it all based on the previous video.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
I got the
Stanley picked
bucket.
up the bucket.
Why not?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I've got to see what happens when you go on the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the
This is
bucket
still the
turned out to be
same.
correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back.
I think
to the
I'll go
meeting room.
straight on.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Good. You know, I'm actually tempted to walk off it.
Good, said the bucket.
Oh, man.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
Went for it.
There's something up.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest
God.
friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Do we start again? Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
there
missed a
again.
memo.
Oh, there was something there before, wasn't there, blocking me? Should I grab the bucket or should I leave the bucket? Ah, yes.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched
And
bucket
entered the
tightly
door
to
on my
his
right.
chest and entered the door on his left.
Boom.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
And there we are.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly
I'm gonna
was.
drink.
How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
And let's go.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere
Stanley
else.
this time. We'll
The
Stanley this
cargo
time.
lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I'm not doing what the bucket asked. I'm doing what I want to do.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
There's no
Stanley
dark
once
room.
again obeyed blindly.
Here, isn't it? There. There was a telephone in for.
Now pick
Oh!
up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
No. Answer the phone. Or last time I unplugged it, and that's how the story went completely off course. Let's try.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
Such a weirdo.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
It's like, how far can you go by keep making the different decisions?
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I'm still not going to do what you said, though. Yeah, I wonder what happens if you unplug the phone again. I suppose there's only one way to find out. Here we go.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No. Uh-oh. See? You can keep doing it, man.
What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need
No, we're
to
not
go
watching
back
it again,
and
are
rewatch that
we?
instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh.
Here we go.
Thank God for
You
that.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door.
Oh, sorry. Oh, is it going to be the same though?
What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the
Have
bucket
I wound
came
him
to
up
a
now?
set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
If this does the same, then I'll go to the left.
What? We're back at the phone already?
Yeah.
No. Here we
I've got to go to the left
You
now.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered.
It didn't let
clearly.
me.
There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke
It
is
didn't let
completely
me.
done and over. It's all your
I haven't got
fault,
me.
Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple
I was
video
doing
and
it.
take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
What's he doing?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you.
What the
It's as though all of your other most
bloody hell's going on now?
pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes.
Hi, how you doing?
More instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Here we go again.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Okay. Do I grab the bucket again though? I'll leave the bucket. He hasn't said anything this time about it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on
How many
his left.
times can I do it, man? Hey, Zaid. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
So I am
first,
hopping
just to admire
over
it.
this way again.
And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley.
This
thought
time
to
I haven't got the
himself.
bucket, so
What
you
a
can't joke
room,
about
what a
that.
room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a
He's
room.
completely lost it. He has lost it.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, no.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So we ain't doing the thing now with the,
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
With the
gotten
bucket.
off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
See,
Your
how
chance
similar
to redeem yourself.
is
To
this
put
now to the
your
other one?
work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, do I unplug
That's
it?
her, Stanley.
But that's what I did
You need
before.
to be the one to do this. To reach out to
I'm
her.
answering it.
If you can truly
I'm
play
answering it. sure last time I did this in the first video. Yeah. Go back to the house. Or the flat.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
And this is the reason why I'm going against every decision you're telling me to do. You're a
Come
prick.
inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Last time I walked away, a wall popped up. Is it the same? Yes.
Sorry, but you're in my
See?
story now.
Not bad.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him.
Nothing
and
I
every
can do.
button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic
If anybody's viewing this video as well,
behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into
another
the
achievement.
unknown,
I've hit 100 followers on
fantastic
TikTok, so
discoveries of new lands.
slowly getting there with that one as well.
And each
So if
day
you want to
that
go
he
over
returned
there,
to work was a reminder that none of it
you're more
would
than
ever
welcome.
happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
if this is going to be the same as the first time I
he went
played it,
further.
then
He imagined that he came to two
I'm going to have to do a lot more wrong decisions. Otherwise, I finished the
either.
game pretty
At
quick last time.
Choice. It barely even mattered.
So whatever
what lay
you do,
behind
if you
each
play
door.
this game,
Mere thought that his decisions would mean something
don't
was almost
do
too
everything he
wonderful to
says,
behold.
because you will finish the game quick.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the
Thank you for the follow.
Parable.
Oh, but I'll get your name wrong. I'm going to go for Stanley? Kelly?
It was
Oh, anyway.
such a wonderful fantasy, and so
Thank
in
you.
his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might
good, thank you.
always feel this
How are you?
free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Hey.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The
wanna
longer
see
he
if there's more
spends
to
here,
it.
the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer.
This still
That
seems
as
the
long as he
same
remains
as
here, he's slowly killing himself.
first game.
But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell
No,
him
'cause
in
you're
a
a
way that he'll
dickhead.
understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not
Is
in
this
the
going to be
way
the
I want
same now,
him to.
or is it back
I
to...
don't make the rules. I simply
This
play to my
number two
intended
that he's
purpose,
created.
the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. and I tried again, and Stanley
Please
pushed
don't.
a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Right, let's see. If it starts off again and there's balloons in the office, it should still be this number 2 is correct. Yeah. Okay.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Do I pick the bucket up or not? Go to the 2 doors.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Just double checking before I go any further. If anyone is watching at the moment, is the mic working? Just let me know with a yes or a no. If you don't mind. I'm gonna go left.
Yet there was not a single
in the
person
meeting
here
room.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
you're
his
saying walk
boss's
upstairs,
office.
but I'll see you downstairs. I remember these as well. You gotta collect these, didn't you?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley
Yeah.
figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
At least I found one of them.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am
Maybe I am.
crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him whenever he went?
This
And
is
for that matter,
getting very
these
similar
rooms
to the
were starting
first
to look
game.
pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about
Come on,
a voice
then.
describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility
Come
for
on.
himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
What do you mean, the
I wish
game?
it
What's
could
the
be
game
over.
about?
Let me go back to my job.
So far,
Let me continue.
as you can
pushing
tell from the
button.
title, this is part 3,
Please.
so I played it
It's
for a
all
bit.
I want. I want
It looks
my
like it's about
apartment
decisions.
and my wife and my job.
In the first
All
video,
want is
I did a
my
couple
life
that
exactly
were
the way it's always been.
the wrong decision.
My
But I did
life
sort
is
of follow
normal.
him, and the game
I
finished
am
pretty
normal.
quick. So I think
Everything
the
will
aim
be
is
fine.
to do the
I
opposite of what he says.
Okay.
To be honest, it's been quite a funny game. It has been interesting and funny.
Stanley began screaming.
I have liked it so far.
Someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss.
I like these
have an
random
office.
games.
I am real.
You don't know what's
Please,
happening
just
next.
Someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman
Yeah,
named
it's happened
Mariella.
before.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control.
Also,
of my
another thing,
mind.
if anyone's
I know
watching,
what is real
is
and
the
what
stream
isn't.
still running okay?
It was comforting to think this.
Just
and
checking
in
the
certain
frame
way,
rate at the
seeing
bottom and
this
it's
man
looking a
made
bit
her
red.
feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people
Hopefully
whose
it's still working
impressions of
okay.
her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Do we start again? Can't remember now. Yeah. Okay, so
All of his co-workers were gone.
trying to
What could it
think
mean?
now, what decisions
Stanley
haven't I
decided
done?
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ah. I haven't took the bucket the right way, have I?
The
Yeah.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
So now. Oh, actually, I wonder what
Stanley clutched
happens.
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered.
I'm gonna go
the door on
right.
his left.
See if I can answer the phone now.
This was not
Ooh,
the
I think I
correct
can.
way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge.
I'm just going to
was
see if
simply
this
the
is anything
place to
different
be.
now. Got the bucket.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be
Let's
correct?
go.
Was this better than the... No.
Took a
never
left
mind.
here.
The bucket was wrong.
I
Stanley
want to see
took
what
the
happens
door on
if
his
I
left
answer the
To go
phone.
back to the meeting room,
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something
Oh,
up
how'd you
there
get
I
there?
need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket
need
was
that.
speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly
I need to
convinced
go
that
there.
the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Damn it. The collectible over there.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Right, so this time I'm not going to unplug it. Gonna
Now
pick
pick
it
up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Is it different now? I've got the bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley
Oh,
and his
God.
bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
What happens there? Okay. Bucket's on the sofa.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Okay. The bucket's now in the office. Let's take me back home with you. Oh, I might have to then.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Well, where do I go now? Oh, it's on the table. Oh, what are we doing? Just keep going backwards and forwards now.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and
Trust you,
listened
mate.
to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Oh, God.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny
Top of the
bucket.
PC now.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
What the hell, man?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware
Back
store
on the
bucket.
sofa.
It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an
It's
amount
just a
of water
bucket.
from one room to another.
Relive this same day with me over and over. Oh.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
What the hell, man?
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has
What
to say. Do anything it asks.
the hell
What's wrong with me? I don't
is
understand.
going on?
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
God.
Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
No. He's getting a bit much.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to
Oh,
me
sure.
now. Give it or I'll...
God.